My intuition is telling me there'll be better days. Yeah. My intuition is telling me there'll be better days.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy T Brad back with another episode of Beast Talk.
Episode 2 already. My God. Just Jill checking in. What's up, y'all?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Time flies when you're working hard.
All right, now this week we are going to be focusing on the representation of African American women in the media. But up first, we're going to start with our pet peeves of the week. So we'll be right back with our pet peeves of the week. All right, it's your boy T Brad. I'm back with our pet peeves of the week. Now, my pet peeve of the week is people saying Happy New Year's well into the month of February and March. Like, the New Year's just started, and I'm already getting irritated because I already know how it's going to go. People say Happy New Year's, the first week, maybe even the second week, but when it's fucking February and March, don't come to me with Happy New Year's because we're well into the year. And
like the New Year, New Me.
Yeah, like
those memes.
That New Year, New Me, with the girl standing on the blocks and with the baby, and they're like, give it a rest, come on. So my pet peeve of the week is people saying Happy New Year well into the month of February and March. Just, I'm giving you forewarning right now. If I see you in public and I haven't seen you in a while and you tell me Happy New Year, I'm going to walk by you like I don't know you. So just...
He will do it too, for real.
Yeah, like I will literally walk by you like I've never seen you before. So let's just keep that in mind.
I see somebody make a post that was like, I already effed up or already fucked up for the new year. Getting ready for 2018 or 2018 since we go. And I was like, oh my God, it was literally like the first day.
Yeah, I'm trying to start out my new year a little bit better, eat right, get back in the gym. So hopefully that is prosperous.
I'm just trying to get more money. I'm just trying to get more money than last year. Let me see. Pet peeves of the week for me. Like y'all know, well, like I said in the last episode, I work 2 jobs, and at night I do delivery driving. So my pet peeve of the week is people that are broke that order delivery. Now. I understand that everybody's not able to cook or buy things, buy food to cook. But if you're gonna go out of your way to buy food at a restaurant, I don't understand why you're gonna go and get, have a delivery charge added on and then have someone bring it to you and then not tip them. Like, it makes no sense. If you don't have any money to tip somebody, come pick it up. Come pick it up. Come pick it up. If you don't have a car, then you need to be buying food that you can cook at your house.
So you can save money to get a car.
So you can save money to get a car, exactly. Like, I don't usually come across that issue too many times where I work at. Thank God the people and my customers actually tip decent. But there have been a few times I've taken like 40 wings to somebody and they ask me for change. I'm looking at them like, really? Like, for real? Like,
shit, I can go for a 40-piece wing right now.
Yeah, I hope you tip the delivery driver if you do get it delivered. But Jesus Christ, people, like, y'all got to do better. And even when I was younger in school, I wasn't the best tipper, but at the same time, I realized I knew that I didn't tip well or wasn't able to tip well, so that's why I had a car to go drive it and pick it up, and I don't have to tip and I don't have to worry about none of that. Like, it makes no sense.
What about if
do better, people?
What about if the delivery driver is late or if they are just
see, I'm never late. See, that's the problem. That's not my issue. I'm never late. I'm not.
What if you're rude?
I'm not rude either.
Ever?
No. Always come with a smile. Hi, how you doing?
That's bullshit.
No, I promise you. Especially at 2 o'clock in the morning, I love delivering to the drunk folks.
Oh, yeah.
Folks make me laugh.
They might give you the biggest tips.
Yeah, and they do. They always, the drunk folks give me the best tips because they don't know how much they're giving me. I'll be like, thank you. You have a great day.
Well, all right, folks. That concludes our pet peeves of the week. We'll be right back with our hot topics of the week. All right, we're back with our hot topics of the week. Jill, take us away with the first hot topic.
Hot topics. All right, the first one.
Topics.
The first one will be Mariah Carey's New Year's Eve performance. Did you see?
I saw it all over social media. Like, she just fluttered out. I don't know, but like, she just fluttered out on stage. The music was playing. She didn't give 2 fucks.
She really did. I'm trying to figure out, like,
she had to be
wrong
tipsy.
Song?
I don't know, but she
kept
said,
saying something like, we didn't do a sound check. I'm like, it sounded like you had like 3 drinks back there. Like,
no, and then on the song We Belong Together, she was singing or lip singing, and then she just took the mic away and walked off. She was like, you know what? Fuck this. I got my check. I think it might be time for her to retire. Like, I don't know.
It just might be. It might be time for her to let go of that bottle. I really think she was drunk. She might have been. a little too tipsy and just was like, you know what, I really don't feel like doing this right now.
I know they said that Mariah Carey used to have a drinking problem. She went to an award show with Lee Daniels and was tipsy as hell on stage winning the award. I showed you that link before.
Yeah, I did see that.
So
clip.
I don't know, but she really didn't give a fuck. She was like, look, I'm about to come get my check. I'm about to dance around on stage. I'm about
she
to
didn't
just
dance. She just walked around. She
just
told
fluttered.
the crowd to sing. She was like, y'all sing.
No. This is a kicker. So then, you know, her and J-Lo have been going on some little beef for years now.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Mariah Carey always says, I don't know her. So J-Lo liked a comment on Instagram throwing shade at Mariah Carey about, you know, I guess her not being able to sing anymore and da-da-da. And people were kind of like, J-Lo, but you've never been able to sing, so you really have no room to
I
talk.
was going to say, but J-Lo, when have you been able to win? When was that?
I don't know. So, you know.
She tried it.
She did, but she officially was the last celebrity death of 2016 because she just killed herself with that.
She really did. That performance was atrocious. Like, oh no. Mm-mm.
It was.
Oh, God.
So, moving right along with our next hot topic of the week. What do you got, Jill?
I got, oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. Speaking of horrible performances, Ronda Rousey, sweetheart. You have to crawl before you walk. Let's just let that be known. You have to crawl before you walk. You don't come back after already getting knocked out. What was it, like 5-6 months ago?
Yeah.
And try to fight
No,
the
I
champion.
think it was a year ago.
Oh, it's been a year?
Yeah, but
You
she
don't come
didn't
back
do
after
any.
a year
She didn't do
off.
any
no
matches or
fights
anything.
in between,
Yeah.
no practices, nothing on YouTube, no little specials, I haven't even seen her spar. I haven't seen anything since she got knocked out a year ago. And you gonna come back and try to fight the champ?
Well, it
Girl.
definitely showed because she got that ass whooped in 48 seconds.
Girl, she didn't move. Did you hear there was a clip come out of like just her trainer of like his audio?
What did he say?
You've got to hear it. It's hilarious. He's like, no, move your head movement. I'm like, her head, what? She did not move her head that entire fight.
Shit, her head was getting moved when she was getting knocked the fuck out.
Like the last 10-15 seconds of the fight was horrible. He started screaming. He was like, no. I was like, yeah, bro. Y'all wasted so much money and so
my
much
thing
time.
with Ronda is, at one point she was one of the greatest female fighters in the world. She became a little cocky.
They said that some people are saying that she's overrated. Like, I don't pay attention to the UFC sport
Me neither.
like in detail like that, but I was like reading comments and stuff like that, and people were like, she even the owner like admitted to saying that he overhyped her.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in a sense, because like the people that she was fighting when she was on the way up to the top they weren't like the undefeated champions or the, I don't know, I guess the
Then
champions.
she won like 12 fights in a row, and I want to say like 8 by knockout. But the people that she was fighting, like I heard, they weren't anyone to really be bragging on.
And then once she actually fought the people that mattered,
She got that ass waxed.
She got that ass tapped.
But I remember she was coming for Floyd.
Girl, now you really have, girl.
You don't got a pot to piss in.
Girl, you have no hands. So, of course, you can't say.
Do it with no hands. Do it with no hands.
Feet and grabs. That's all you got. Because everybody that's come up to you that can box and has hands has proven that you have none, and they do it in, less than a minute? The last time she got knocked out was less than a minute, too, I believe. It wasn't even over the first round. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. Ronda.
Rest in peace to Ronda Rousey's career. They said she was like on suicide watch and all that afterwards. Girl, just let it go. Just let
take
it go.
your L, go back into hiding.
And take your millions and live on for the rest of your life.
They said she got paid $3 million just for showing up.
It's okay. I think she can. I know she's not gonna come back from this, but she can fall back onto something profitable.
She'd be a reality
She
star.
can do a workout plan. Like she could do like some Jillian Michaels.
I always
type
wanted to
thing.
see her and
She's still
Layla
in
Ali
shape.
fight at one point.
Girl, Layla Ali shaded her.
Yeah, she did. And she shaded Floyd. She always shaded Floyd.
That joke was crazy.
What's our next hot topic of the week, Jill?
Last hot topic of the week. I guess we talking about Obama's final weeks in office. It's pretty somber. The weather matches how I feel about Obama leaving.
You know, my take on Obama leaving office is I was never, how do I say it? President Obama's presidency within itself was historic because he was the first African American to win the nomination for presidency.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I was never just this great Obama fan. I wasn't one of his, followers. So to me, it's like,
I'm an Obama fan. He's so smooth. I like that whole family. The way they moved in office, the way they presented themselves to the public and everything like that. I loved everything about that for Obama.
See, that's where I differ. I love Michelle Obama. She to me, she's the epitome of a strong black woman. She holds her man down. She's got her own, businesses. She's got her own, books. She's got her own swag. She's got her own demeanor. I think she doesn't need her man to be the president for her to be successful. And that's what's different from her in comparison to a lot of other first ladies.
Yeah.
So I do love Michelle Obama, but President Obama himself, I was just never a big, fan, but don't get me wrong, what he has done and his presidency was historic. So I will give him that.
He's given out more pardons than any president, right?
Yeah, I think so. But I still don't think he's smoother than Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was still the first black president in my eyes. Nigga was up in there playing the saxophone, had Eddie Murphy, Michael Jackson up in the White House.
But he still signed that BS law, so...
Oh, yeah, he did, so,
Shade to him.
Well, that concludes our Hot Topics of the Week. We'll be right back with our Black Issue of the Week. Stay tuned, folks. All right, we're back with the Black Issue of the Week. Now, the Black Issue of the Week this week is going to focus on the representation of black women in the media. So we're going to pick up where we started off at last week, discussing the show featuring Issa Rae on, HBO Insecure.
Yeah, Insecure, baby. That's on. Oh man, that's one of my favorites. Issa Rae, brilliant show. Can't wait for the second season. Only thing I hate about that show was that it was only 8 episodes. That's it. That's the only thing that I hate.
That's one of the things that I hate about premium shows. You don't get a lot of episodes, and you have to wait so long for
in between seasons.
Yeah, you gotta wait almost it is a fucking year. Shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, Insecure, Issa Rae, like I said, that show is basically about a black woman in her late 20s, early 30s, and she's pretty much is the everyday struggles of just being a black woman in America, from her job to her relationship. She's in a relationship with a guy that's kind of in between careers, I guess you could say. Not in between careers, but he's kind of like, he hasn't really started the career that he wanted. He's into computers and stuff like that, and so he's a big tech guy and all that good stuff. He's not motivated where he sits on the couch like every day or something like that. That's like the first episode, and she's kind of like tired. They do the same thing every day. Their relationships become really routine and boring. She's basically bored. It's and she's kind of looking for some excitement. She had an old ex that popped up in her life. She had to deal with that. Her and her boyfriend ended up taking a break. It was weird. They got back together. Mm-hmm. She cheated on her boyfriend. She has a best friend
the show it's really about the ups and downs of a black woman in her late 20s. Like you said, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenally written, directed, produced, everything. Yeah, the flow.
Yeah.
And
it's so funny.
The thing that I like about the show is that it shows Issa Rae in a positive light, but it still shows her being awkwardly black. It shows her flaws and all. Like, how do you think that this show is indicative of black women today? Like, do you think that this show is an accurate representation of black women?
Yeah, because even her friends, like
Molly,
her friend Molly, to even the other girls that made appearances on the show.
I think we're gonna learn more about them in season 2.
Yeah, like
become main characters.
Her college friends, I guess you could say. Those girls, those are like, when I think of a crew of girls and their friends, like Issa and her friends, that's what I think of based off of my experiences. I done been to school, and like the groups of girls that I know that have their groups of friends, they pretty much model them. Like she had a friend that was Greek, aka real
prissy and sedity.
I guess that's what you want to. That's what we've heard from the K's. But like that's she got that. She has the big girl, or the girl that's the big
comedian, funny.
Yeah, the funny, but she's not the typical. They didn't cast her as that typical big girl role.
Yeah,
you notice,
they didn't.
Like, even though she's a big girl,
she's not self-conscious. She's
not very self-conscious.
Yeah, she's very secure in who she is. She knows who she is, and on top of that, she's not the stereotypical big girl in the sense of the way that the media presents black women as big. She loves her sex. She's not. She gets men.
Girls that I know aren't self-conscious. Like, they're not that self-conscious. Like, they love the
they own it.
Yeah, they own it.
But oftentimes when we see black women represented as plus size in the media, we do see them as dependent on a man, meaning that they let a man run over them, they let a man do anything to them, when in actuality it's nothing but the total opposite.
Yeah, it really isn't. Like I said, the girls that I know, they act nothing like that. And Issa's show, Insecure, actually shows a great representation of that type of character in that role.
It really does. It really does. What do you think about Insecure in comparison to other shows with black female leads or black women in the media today as a whole? How do you think they compare? Or matter of fact, what is your take on black women? Since you are a black woman, what is your take on black women being represented in the media today?
Sorry, that was Siri. Siri wanted to get in the conversation.
Fuck Siri.
What's my take on black women just in general, just how they're represented as a whole? I feel like at first I felt like we were on a decline with all the reality TV shows. I felt like there was only a negative image of black women being told or shown on the media like that. While we were growing up, while we were in school, I felt like that's all girls were talking about. Where whatever show was on reality, like whatever Love and Hip Hop show was on, whatever, I can go back even further. Flavor of Love.
I Love New
like
York.
Like I Love New York. Just Bad Girls Club. Like all those shows have such a negative portrayal of black women that like that's all they talked about. So I just didn't pay attention. Like I just felt like we weren't being represented right in media. But then Scandal came out. How to Get Away with Murder. All those shows. Now we have Insecure. You got Blackish. Like all these shows, all these great black shows with black lead women or female characters. Like now the conversation has changed. Now you got girls talking about, instead of them pursuing a Love and Hip Hop career, you got girls talking about law school and talking about the things that they have to go through while they're struggling in school, and after they graduated, how hard it is to find a decent job, even though they tell you to go to school and get your bachelor's and get your 4-year degree and then you're gonna find a good job. It's still hard.
See,
and Insecure shows, I don't know. Insecure shows the bad and the good side because Molly's doing great at her job.
Yeah, but she's doing bad in her love life.
Yeah, but she's doing bad in her love life, and then Issa, she's doing great in her job, but her job doesn't pay. I don't think her job really pays much. It's not really that rewarding.
So let's take it this route. In my eyes, I used to have a problem with all the reality shows like the Love and Hip Hop, so Flavor of Loves, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the Married to Medicines. I had a problem with them because they portrayed African American women, black women, in a negative light. It showed them as loud, obnoxious, ignorant. It only furthered the stereotype that black women are angry black women.
Yeah.
But the more I got into grad school and did research, I realized that these shows are needed on TV because black women are not monolithic. Black women are not singular. Yeah. They're not the same. My issue with the media is that they only represent black women in one aspect.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have these reality shows that represent black women being loud, obnoxious, and carrying on, that's fine. Nothing's wrong with that. You need to have a balance. Yeah. You need to have the black woman being represented as a lawyer, a doctor, a TV star, a movie star, anything other than that one type of portrayal, because when you only give black women one type of image to look at, that's who they aspire to be. Yeah. So the problem isn't the reality shows, it's the network's not giving a balance to the reality shows. Yeah. That's my take on it.
Yeah, that's actually that's actually not that bad. Like if they just, I don't know, even with the reality shows, like Married to Medicine isn't even that bad in a sense.
Because they're all doctors. Yeah, most of them are doctors.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like, oh, these women actually have careers.
Like, yeah. and my thing with black women in the media is that, like I said before, they're always portrayed being monolithic, or they're always portrayed in one light. And that's not the case. Yeah. Like from history, from colonialism to now, you've had black women portrayed as overly sexual, hysterical. The Sarah Bartman, meaning that their bodies are being objectified.
Yep.
You've got them portrayed as the Aunt Jemima type motherly role. From, like I said, from colonialism until now. Yet these stereotypical roles, people always want to get rid of them, and that's not what it should be. Yeah. Keep them. Just give other avenues for black women to look at. Give them other
that's
ways.
Being created now.
Right. But my issue with certain shows, like I'm very opinionated on this. I like Insecure. I love it because it shows, like I said, it shows Issa Rae's character.
I just think it shows so many different dynamics.
Right.
It's so many different types of black women on that show.
But the thing that I like about that show, in comparison to other shows that represent black women, her character is not dependent on a man.
Nope.
In Scandal, Kerry Washington's character, her power is derived from her sexuality.
Uh-huh.
And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with her sexuality being an issue. It's just that's where her power comes from. Like, I think that there needs to be a balance. Same thing in How to Get Away with Murder. In the first episode, we see her sleeping around on her husband. She's being over-sexualized. But my problem isn't with her being over sexualized. It's more so the balance in her story, because for the first half of the season, that's all we see.
Yeah.
What is your take on black women in the media as far as music videos, modeling, being, half naked and just all that stuff?
Honestly, now that I'm older, now I don't see that much of an issue in it. Because women have the right to make money from their appearance. Like, to me, I feel like if you're a female and you're very pretty, you're very beautiful, and you want to make money based off how you look, you have that right.
And see, that's where I used to disagree with you, but now as I'm older and learning more, I agree with you. Mm-hmm. Because in grad school, I learned about this thing called sex positivity. Sex positivity.
I just feel like it's the hating ass. I don't know, like the folks that, people that hate, that wish they were either that pretty or wish they could do those things or whatever. I feel like those ones that just call them, oh, that's a hoe.
Yeah.
When in reality, the girl's a model. Like,
not only is she a model,
like,
but
when did you see her?
Not only is she a model, or not only whatever, but if a black woman wants to walk around butt naked, as long as she's doing it consensually and she's not being demeaning to anyone else, she has the right to do with. She has the right to
touch her.
Right, you don't. She has the right to do whatever she wants to do with her body. That's her right. Yep. Oftentimes, we say that black women in the media, like, for example, I see a lot of comments negative about Rihanna and Beyonce. Oh, they grind on stage. They're looking half naked. Mm. They're this or that. Beyonce, when she performs, she wears leotards that are bedazzled. When a skinny white anorexic dancer is wearing a fucking leotard, no one says two shits about it. No. But because a black woman who is curvaceous, owns her sexuality, is on stage doing it, then it becomes a problem. And because she's not dancing to classical music, she's dancing to hip hop or R&B or some type of jazz. Yeah. Like, I don't understand how these women can be wearing the exact same things and one is ridiculed for it and the other is not.
It makes no sense. It doesn't. I just feel like it's because of black girl magic, too much black girl magic. They don't want it in the air.
Too much so.
For real, they don't want it in the air, man. It's ridiculous. You see all the amazing things that black women did this year alone, from the Olympics to entertainment to
all the way to learning about Hidden Figures in December last year. Yeah,
exactly. Like black women really.
Whenever we learn about astronauts in space and NASA, we never learned about the mathematicians behind it. How, like, they don't represent
exactly like. And even though what's funny, even though they're putting this Hidden Figures movie out, they're still not even gonna put that in the books. I bet you they're still not gonna put it in textbooks. They're just going, oh yeah, there was a movie made about it. Yeah. At first, I didn't think the moon landing was real. Now that they got this movie coming out, got me sitting there thinking like, well, maybe we did actually do it, because I've been trying to figure out how we did it this whole time, but now y'all finally tell us the truth. Maybe these black women did come in and actually know what they was talking about and got everybody together and got their shit together. I
totally agree. I think, like I said, so
that's what we've been doing for years.
We have been.
Black women have been getting shit together and holding everybody down.
The representation of black women in the media, from whenever TV first came about until now, has always been something that's been interesting to me.
I think it's improving though. And I feel like it's improving because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, because I'm not, in that field or in that industry, but I feel like they're letting a lot more black women in, or letting these ideas in.
But see, the thing with that I have an issue with is, we as black people, we need to demand quality over quantity.
Yes.
Because a lot of times these black shows come out and I look at them and I'm like, at first I'm like, oh, these are da-da-da. But then when I kind of dissect them, it's like, oh, this is the same type of black woman being represented. Like,
what about between, Being Mary Jane? I feel like Being Mary Jane started off really, really, really good. And now...
No. It started off really, really bad to me because,
for real?
Yes, in the first season of Being Mary Jane, it was so reminiscent of Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder. Mm-hmm. She needed a man to feel whole. Mm-hmm. Now we see that she's kind of come to terms with, I don't need a man to feel whole. I can have a baby on my own. I can do this on my own.
Yeah.
My issue with shows like How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal, and Being Mary Jane is they show these strong, matter of fact, strong black women. And shout out to all of them because they're all chocolate at that. Like, like we see these beautiful chocolate, strong black sisters. But my issue with all the shows is they are dependent on a man for happiness. Why does a black woman need a black man or a man of any race for happiness.
I don't know.
Look at Law and Order SVU, one of the longest running dramas of all time. You got Olivia Benson. She's been single for 20 fucking years now.
Yeah.
She hasn't had a man. She had a baby. I don't know how she adopted a baby.
Mm-hmm. She did. She adopted that baby.
Why can't you have shows like this to where we really don't see her in a personal setting? We see more of her career.
Mm-hmm.
So why can these shows with white women be created where they're not dependent on a man for happiness? And then in the reverse, these black women in shows that are positive, that do show them in powerful roles, why do they need a man? Or on top of that, why can't they have a man just given to them at the beginning of the show? Like, why can't they be in a successful black family?
I don't know.
Why?
I guess because
Why, Sway? Let me know, Sway.
I guess because the whatever image they want to portray is that a lot of black families or black homes are broken. Maybe.
Yeah, and that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really understand that, but
yeah.
one thing that I have noticed in the media is when black women are successful or black women are shown in a positive light, they're always single.
Yeah.
What is that saying about the black man? That he's the black woman's kryptonite? I don't get it.
Yeah. That's a good one. I don't know. I do know that I do like what's being. I do like that more black women are being represented in a positive light. I do like that there are a lot more outspoken
black women
being put in a positive light, like Issa Rae, Crystal, with the appearances that she made on a Charlamagne show this year. Like, she held her own. Crystal on Charlamagne show. What's it called? I'm about to say Insecure. Uncommon Sense. She guest starred. Yeah, she guest starred on his show a few times this past year, and it, I think they might have talked about race a few times, but she always holds her own.
I love outspoken black women. I love how they articulate themselves. My issue with unspoken black women is not with them, is how the media portrays them.
Yeah, they always angry.
Yeah, like whenever a black woman is,
she's not angry, she's just passionate about.
Passionate, yeah. Like whenever a black woman knows her shit,
yes,
and she's not afraid to speak it, she's immediately stereotyped as the angry black woman. Mm-hmm. Why?
I don't know. I have no idea. I guess it's because.
Why is America so afraid of black women speaking their mind?
Because
and not only that, but when black women assert themselves and they do it in a manner that is respectful, they are always, from history until now, black women are always deemed hysterical or crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, she's crazy. We always try to dismantle their narrative and change it to either what, society wants us to believe it is, or even what the black man wants us to believe it is. Yeah. Like, in school, we learned about the civil rights movement. Barely. But we never learned about black women in civil rights, aside from Rosa Parks.
We only learned about the male leaders, you're right.
Right.
They barely touched on the women leaders,
right,
or even the spouses of the male leaders that were, just holding everything together. You have to learn that outside of
And I think that
school.
the black community has picked up on this patriarchal trait that's been passed down from white society, mm-hmm, or the white community, mm-hmm, and now black men, in a way, silence black women. Black women have always had to put their issues and needs aside,
on the back for either their family or either for their relationship or either for any Not only
for that, but let's look at the civil rights movement. Black women and black men collectively all come together to create the black community.
Yeah.
But we never ask black women what they need or what they want.
Nope.
So when black women come to black men during the civil rights, for example, with their issues and their needs, just be quiet. Let's get the black agenda out there. So for the greater good, black women are silenced.
Yep.
Same thing with the feminist movement. The feminist movement, to me, was a crock of shit.
It was really only benefited white women.
White women, because white women wanted to work and vote. Nigga, black women have been working since the beginning of time.
Exactly.
Like that was not an issue for them.
Exactly.
Black women, they've been working. Exactly. Y'all was the ones that didn't want to work and had black women raising your children.
Exactly.
So you got black.
So you
women,
got bored,
right? And all of a sudden you want to work and you just want to like what? Like, no, I don't understand that.
Their husbands fucking the damn maids and shit.
Right.
They're really raising their children and shit.
And it's like, so then again, black women in the feminist movement are silenced to kind of for for the greater good, for women to get their overall whatever.
And it's fucked up.
Right. And that's why I learned about the difference between feminism and womanism.
Yeah.
Womanism is a term coined by I don't want to say Alice Walker, Toni Morrison, I believe.
Okay.
She said
Google's.
I want to say womanism is to feminism as purple is to lavender. Don't quote me on that. The quote is something similar to that. But basically, the difference between womanism and feminism is feminism a lot of times does not look at the need of black women.
Yeah.
Feminism was created by white women to basically talk about white issues. And, they get these black women behind them and they say, look, now, we're all women, so let's not talk about the black women's needs.
You said womenist is to feminist, is purple is to lavender.
Yeah, I said it right. Okay,
Look at you.
Yeah, I know my shit.
Hey,
But
receipts.
basically, feminism ignored the issues that were going on with the black women.
Yeah,
like,
they did.
Basic.
That was very clear and evident in the definition, and even with the social groups and whatever they would actually want to stand up for.
Right.
It was very prevalent that they only cared about the needs of white women. Like, it wasn't.
And that's why a lot of black women during the, I want to say, late 70s, 80s, 90s, they became womanists instead of feminists, because womanist was specifically to talk about the needs that black women needed. And not only that, but feminism downed black men.
Yeah.
Womanism never downed black men. It never looked at them as the enemy. It looked at them as an ally.
Yeah. So is Beyonce a womanist or a feminist?
Beyonce doesn't know what the fuck she is.
Okay.
Beyonce is a self-proclaimed feminist, but see, in modern times now, a lot of black women have created this thing called black feminism. So it's kind of like womanism.
They just throw her in the mix. I feel like Beyonce, because she's been in entertainment so long, she hasn't really had to, go to school.
Right.
Honestly, I'm not saying that she's not smart or educated like that, but to know the difference between the womanism and feminism.
And not only that, but a lot of educated women don't even know the difference, because the term womanism or womanist has kind of died down, and it's kind of not hidden, but it's not pushed to the forefront of culture or society. So with that being said, feminism has kind of taken over, and that's why they've come up with these, black feminists to talk about black issues. But like I said, feminism originally never focused on the black woman's needs.
Okay.
So like I said, black women have always been shut down or shut out of every type of movement because they've just been silenced.
Okay, well, that's some bullshit. It is some fuck shit, but it's getting better. It's definitely getting better. I think some great awards will be given out at the Golden Globes. I feel like I still feel like she's going to win this category for Insecure.
Over Tracee Ellis Ross?
Yeah.
I think Tracee Ellis Ross is due for Girlfriends, but that's a whole other. I remember one time in my
the new Tracy, I guess
she is.
Say, so.
But you know what I noticed? One time in my African American Studies class when I was an undergrad, we had a discussion about the positive shows that represented black women.
Yeah.
And we talked about Girlfriends, and upon further research, it kind of came to me like, how positive is Girlfriends? You've got Joan, who is dependent on a man. She needs a man. No matter how successful in her career she is, she needs a man.
Uh-huh.
You've got Toni, who is dependent on a man for financial stability.
Yep.
Despite having her own career as a realtor, she needs a man.
Uh-huh.
She wants a man to be happy, and she's kind of gold diggerish.
Yeah, she wants to live like this outlandish lifestyle.
Then you've got Lynn, who is over-sexualized. She's promiscuous, and nothing's wrong with that, but that's all we know about Lynn. Then
wasn't Lynn also like really intelligent? Like, did she have a whole bunch of degrees?
She had a lot of jobs. Yeah, she was always in school. Yeah, but we never really learned much more about that except for that.
Sex life.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you got Maya. Maya was
a single mom, right?
Single mom. Yeah. She's supposed to be kind of urban, ghetto, whatever you want to call it. So it's like on the surface, Girlfriends looks like a positive show. Don't get me wrong, I love Girlfriends. The premise of Girlfriends is great, but they're representing the four most stereotypical images of black women.
4 different characters, yeah.
Right. But the thing to that is, I think it's great. We just need to have a balance.
Yeah, Issa's show is literally that in reverse. Yeah. It's the same type of characters, but it's showing their positive side. Their positive, their positive characteristics outshine the negatives way more. It's crazy.
And like I said, again, I think that these reality shows that represent black women as ratchet and loud and overbearing. I don't think they need to go anywhere. I think we need balance.
Yeah.
Don't dismiss an entire demographic of black women because you don't like it.
Yeah,
just give the other ones the same representation.
Mona Scott needs to really look like she really needs to push for if she's going whatever negative show that she puts out, whatever that ratchet bullshit is that she puts out. She also needs to do a reality show focusing on.
What did you think about Mona Scott? Was it Mona Scott?
Young black women professionals or something like that.
What about the show that was canceled, Sorority Sisters? Because it was so much just.
That was like Bad Girls Club with finding a whole bunch of sorority girls. That was just ignorant, like.
But see, my thing with Sorority Sisters is
at the same time it was still kind of real. Like a lot
my
of girls
issue,
don't want to. They don't want to. The people that I feel like the reason that it was so much of an uproar about it was because people that are part of those type of organizations only want to be seen in a positive light. They don't want none of that, like anything negative, shining light on the organization.
Mm-hmm.
They not with it. They not.
But my issue with Sorority Sisters was you had all these black women from sororities come out. They came out in numbers. Mm-hmm. They lost endorsements on Sorority Sisters, the VH1 show. These black women got together. They protested Sorority Sisters because they did not want their sororities to be represented in a negative light. So you got together to protest a sorority not being represented in a negative light. But my thing is, you're black first. So where was your issue with all these other black shows that were representing black women in a quote-unquote negative light?
Exactly.
You didn't have an issue with those until it was affecting your sorority.
I guess because it's harder to get...
It's 2:00.
It's harder to get those canceled, I guess, in a sense, because, I figured it would be harder to get those shows canceled, the Flavor of Loves and all the other stuff, because those girls willingly participated at the same time. But like the other ones, since those organizations are so large and so have such a presence in our country that.
But isn't the organization of black women the largest?
I feel like it's somewhere in the rule book, like you can't paint them in a negative light or something like that. I feel like it's somewhere in like they probably sent all them girls copies of like the policies and like. And you forgot, girl. Like, what are you doing? Like,
see, like I said before, my issue is that nothing's wrong with being painted in a negative light because black women are not monolithic. They're not all the same. The issue is when you don't give a fair and equal balance.
Yeah, that really is the main issue. But it's getting better, like I said.
Yeah, I think it is getting better. Like you said, you got Insecure on HBO.
Yep.
Being Mary Jane has actually became a lot better. They're focusing on issues within the black community like police brutality now. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, Mary Jane has finally decided to have a baby on her own. She doesn't need a man for anything.
And that
she doesn't need
a whole different life.
Right, and she doesn't need a man to be validated. And that was my issue with the show originally, but it's now taking the turn for the better. Yeah. So that concludes our Black Issue of the Week. We'll be right back with our Black History of the Week. Thanks. All right, this your boy T-Bad. Blah. I said fucking T-Bad.
Thought you said teabag for a second. I was going to say, what?
All right, this is your boy T-Brad. We're back with our Black History section of the week. Sticking with the idea of the representation of black women, we wanted to give some positive facts about black women. So, just a fact that I found online, more than 50% of black women between the ages of 18 to 24 are pursuing higher education.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact, especially that's our age group pretty much.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And it's not represented, though.
No, it's not. And I can definitely look on my social media. Like, most of the girls that I follow or that follows me, they're in school. Or if they're not in school, they already finished school. If they didn't already finish school, they're about to start school. Like, they're about to get some type of certification, do something. Like, girls my age are not sitting on their asses right now. And the ones that are, we'll talk about them later.
Okay, moving right along. 43 out of 50 black women graduate from high school.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Black men, step your game
For
up.
real, that's a fact.
Black women are killing it.
Yeah,
and they're not getting represented.
I don't know what might be the difference in the household of being raised. Like, I was raised with I have a younger brother, so I feel like the way we were raised was a little bit different. But the whole time when I was growing up, that's all I heard throughout my life. School, school, school. You got to go to school. You got to make good grades in school. You got to go to college. Like, this is not a joke. Like, this is no option. You have no other option.
I think with the way that society presents itself upon the black community, black women are kind of held to a higher standard in these days. More is expected from them.
Yes, definitely. Jesus Christ. We have to do 2 times. Jesus.
Okay, so moving right along. Between 1997 and 2013, the number of businesses started by African American women grew more than 250%.
All these dang hairlines. About time y'all started your own hairlines. And I told y'all giving. I guess everybody done figured out that we keep giving our money to these Asians.
Oh, yes.
With these beautiful.
We're not even going to get into that because
No,
we're going to have
for
a
real.
whole episode on the spending power within the African American community.
Man, that joke is crazy. I'm glad you girls are starting your own hair care. I mean, your hair, your weave lines. Everybody becoming nail techs.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care what it is. Do you hustle?
Support black
'Cause that's what
business people. That's what we
Yes,
got to do.
support and buy it from these girls. Like, y'all be talking about customer service don't be what
Yeah.
it's supposed to be. Well, how is it supposed to get there if you don't buy anything?
Exactly.
But
But
you have to start somewhere.
we got to learn to support our own.
Yes.
But in conjunction with that, as of 2013, the estimated 1.1 million companies owned by African American women employed 272,000 people and generated about $45 billion in revenue.
Woo! So we getting money.
So all that means is black girls rock.
All right. Always. Always rock. That magic is never going away.
So in 1960, the life expectancy for black women was 68 years of age. And now by 2010, it's 78.
And that's only going to go up.
Yeah.
I feel like our generation understands the importance of actually living a healthy lifestyle. And we also are... I feel like our generation is at a point where we can afford to live healthy.
Right. And,
Like,
and I
it's
think
not-
I think that a lot of black women now are starting to take back their health.
Yeah.
Because I learned in grad school about this complex called, what was it called? The Sojourner Syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Black women are so busy taking care of everybody else in their community that they do not take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Black women are so busy giving their lives to their kids or their husbands that they forget about themselves. But I think that now in modern days with the technology growing and just people trying to become, more fit, black women are finally taking back their own health and their own life and their own happiness. Because you can't live a longer, prosperous life if you're not happy.
Yeah, you can't.
Point blank and the period.
You can't. You're right. That's right.
So I think that black women are starting to really just, believe in themselves. Not only believe in themselves, because I think they've always believed in themselves. They're starting to love themselves and just take responsibility for their own lives and not letting the man run it.
Yep, that's pretty much. I feel like that's pretty much the direction that we're heading into now.
Yep.
In 2016 and forever. Shoot.
So
Ooh, black
that
women.
concludes our Black History of the Week. We'll be right back with a new segment called Complicated Question of the Week.
Oh, so complicated.
We'll be right back.
All right, now we're back with the final topic of the week.
Yep.
Our complicated question of the week.
Bum, 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 bum.
jeez.
This is like, this little segment at the end of the show every week is going to be like a complicated question, advice, relationship advice, love advice. So it might switch up every week, the title, but it's going to be the same premise.
Yep.
So go ahead, ask us a complicated question of the week.
The complicated question of the week is: can you be friends with your ex? Now. Man, oh man, that question. I'm just gonna go ahead and start it off. Yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's possible to be friends with your ex. It depends. Well, I feel like that depends on a few factors: how your relationship ended, what type of person that person is, and basically the maturity levels of both of the individuals. That pretty much determines on whether you can be friends with your ex or not.
Okay, let me challenge you on that.
Okay.
Can you be friends with your ex if you are in a new relationship?
It's hard to.
So
I
AKA
don't think,
no.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's a good idea to try to be friends with your ex while you're trying to establish a new relationship with someone, because you're gonna find yourself comparing, and when you start doing that, it can be detrimental for your new relationship. It kind of clouds and blocks and kind of takes away from what you're trying to learn and develop with that new person.
My thing about being friends with your ex is, unless there's a kid involved, I feel like you really don't have a reason to be friends with them because they're your ex for a reason. If they were so great and so hunky-dory and y'all were getting candy and riding unicorns and bullshit, then they wouldn't be your ex.
Now, see, to me, where we differ at that is, like, some people are better friends than they are in relationships. Sometimes relationships don't always work out, but that friendship that they had, that friendship that they gained while they was in a relationship is still there, and it's still prevalent. Whether they need them, I don't know, in some type of emotional sense, I guess you could say, but like I said, that's why it depends on maturity level, because if you can remain cordial with an ex and, not be on I'm trying to take you out or, like, still trying to buy things for them or still trying to woo them, then I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Like keeping in touch. You don't have to talk to them every single day. Now that's excessive. Yes, it is, because like, come on, what's the point? But to keep it I don't know, to be cordial, like I said, to be cordial, I feel like there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I'm 50-50 on that. My thing is,
also depends on how long you were together. Like,
true.
If it was like somebody you was with for 5-6 years, and then on top of that, say y'all like y'all's life or y'all's schedule kind of even runs together, so you're probably gonna see each other. Y'all go to the same church, or y'all something like that. Y'all have the same separate friends, outside friends. Then I can see like needing to still be friends or have some type of cordial relationship. Why it would be necessary.
But I kind of think that once you get into a relationship, if you were friends first, then the friendship is kind of ruined, because if the relationship didn't work out, and let's say it ends on bad terms, or not even bad terms, but iffy terms, how can you go back to trusting someone that you couldn't even be with in a relationship? Like, if there is a trust issue per se, or something like that, like, I can't be friends with someone after they've cheated on me.
That's why it depends on how the relationship ended. All relationships don't end on some
infidelity.
Disrespectful, infidelity type thing. Sometimes they're just not the person you're supposed to be with. Like, it really just be like that. Yeah, you just wake up and it's just like.
Well, from my personal experience, all my relationships have ended in infidelity or somebody being a little thought mongler. But I mean, I think it's iffy. It just depends. So, you think that you can be friends with your ex?
Yeah, I'm friends with some of my exes. So,
do you think that you should be friends with your ex though?
It's really not I don't know. I don't really see it as if I should or not. When I first started getting into my new relationship, I did kind of end. I wasn't talking to my exes as often as I was before I got into a relationship.
I think another aspect.
And that was just to respect the person that I was with, because they asked me to do.
True.
Like
That's what I was gonna say. I think another aspect of being friends with your exes is dependent on the trust level of your new partner.
I mean, I just wanted to show her that she could trust me.
Right.
So she asked me to chill on it, so I did.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So that concludes our complicated question of the week. Well, that's another episode, folks, and I hope that you all enjoyed it. This is your boy T. Brad.
And this is your girl, Just Jill. The musical talent of the week this week, I'm going to leave you guys with the same artist as last episode. I'm really on his wave right now.
Shout out to Young Jay.
Shout out to Young Jay. He's doing some great things out there. So
if you want your music heard, contact myself or Jillian Anderson via Facebook or Twitter. Like I said, we're going to have our social media pages up and running by the end of this week, website. So send us your local talent. We'll be glad to feature it.
Yes, we will be glad to feature it. So this song, I'm going to pick... I think I'm gonna pick the Rondo song by Young Jay. Young Jay featuring Young Gus and Lil Quavo. That song's it's called Rondo. So check it out on SoundCloud. All right, y'all. Easy.
We out.
Woo woo. It's just still shit, man. Shout out Big Dog Fresh. Real right shit. The Ziggy motherfucker, man. You already know it. Gang shit. LA shit. Squad shit. Gang. I put on for my city and my niggas. Fuck these bitches. Make it on for me, nigga. Heard you pussy niggas snitch. Y'all nigga telling on my niggas. Living die by the street. By the street. Kissing hole like the rock. Call me Ron. I put on for my city and my nigga. Fuck these bitches. Make it on for me, nigga. Heard you pussy niggas snitching. Niggas snitching. My niggas living die by the street. Kissing hole like the rock. Call me Ron. Passing hole like Rondo. Bitch fucking for the hundo. Big bread like Mundo. Nigga capping for the promo. I'm flexing the cheap, but you going broke. I'm in the set blowing good dope. I'm working my hand, expanding the bands. We know you exclusive like you got smoke. I fucked your bros, He was a bozo. Had to fuck that little bitch. She got that D. Little nigga screaming woo woo. On gang bang, but on laid up. Nigga play, get sprayed up. In the hospital laid up. Step curve with the 38 special. Holiday, so we handing out special. 2 for 1 if these niggas get reckless. My nigga aiming to get you. Finessing the jugs, I'm making the dance. Niggas think I'ma slip with that trip in my pants. These niggas, they stitching and telling no friends. I'm bloody for real and I'm nice with that.